Donuts. That's how I'm going to help you understand Portland's newest voting system, multi-winner ranked choice voting. It's how Portland voters will elect their city council representatives this fall, and the math behind it can be a little hard to digest. To help break it down, I conducted an election asking journalists in the Oregonian's newsroom to rank their favorite donuts. The goal? To determine the top 3 donuts by using the same math that'll be used in the election. And why the top 3? Because that's how many city council candidates will be elected per district this fall. To start, I sent out a grid-like ballot, much like the one Portland voters will get this fall. Instead of having 15 to 25 candidates, like Portland voters will, mine had 8 delectable donut choices. And I asked everyone to rank their top 6. I even included a write-in option. Similar to with previous ballots, you'll still fill in these little ovals to vote. But instead of picking just one candidate or donut, you'll pick a first choice and, if you wish, a second, third, and so on up to 6 choices. After that, the ranked choice rounds begin. In the first round, all the first choice votes are tallied for each candidate. The threshold to win is 25% of the total first choice votes plus 1 vote. And in my case, since 39 voters took part in the important donut election, the threshold to win was 10.75 votes. Since none of the donuts won 10.75 votes in our first round, there are no winners yet. So the next thing we do is eliminate the donut with the fewest votes. In this case, we eliminate powdered sugar, with 0 first choice votes. We normally distribute votes from eliminated candidates to their voters' next viable choices, but since there are 0 votes to distribute, we have to keep eliminating. In the next round, we eliminate cinnamon sugar, jelly-filled, Oreo topping, and cake donuts. We're eliminating all 4 at once because they were all tied for lowest, with 1 vote each. The votes of people who voted for those losing candidates, donuts, get distributed based on those voters' next highest ranked choice. For example, news reporter Zane Sparling didn't get his way with Oreo topping donut as his first choice, but his second choice was maple bar, so his vote contributes to the maple bar tally. Business reporter Matt Kish's cake donut vote goes to his next choice, pink frosting and sprinkles. Now we look at the totals again, and still, no donut has reached the winning threshold, so we keep eliminating and distributing votes round by round until a donut or donuts reaches that threshold. We ended up eliminating and distributing the next highest choice votes for pink frosting with sprinkles, boo, that was my first choice, and an extremely popular writing candidate, the glazed donut. Eventually, the maple bar was declared a winner with 11 total votes. But since we still need to declare 2 more winners, we need to keep going. And this is where things get a little more complicated. Once a candidate wins, the ballots of all the voters who chose the winner are checked to see what each voter's next viable donut choice is. And I use the word viable here because, remember, 7 donuts have already been eliminated or already won. For example, videographer Vicky Connor's next viable choice in this round was actually her 6th ranked choice, apple fritter, because all of her top choices were already eliminated. Anyway, instead of just distributing these votes 1 for 1 like we did before, we need to distribute them as a percentage of the so-called surplus votes that went to the winner. In our mini donut election, the surplus votes are actually just 1/4 of a vote. Now, that number would be likely larger in an election with a larger turnout, but keep playing along. So from the 11 maple bar votes, the next highest choices were 4 for old-fashioned, 4 for chocolate, and 3 for apple fritter. And as a percent of the total maple bar votes, those numbers look like this. So, each of those 3 donuts gets that percent of that tiny surplus quarter vote. Now we check the new tally, and because there's still not another winner, we have to keep eliminating. We say goodbye to cream-filled and distribute its votes. No fancy math this time, we only do that when a candidate or donut surpasses the winning threshold. Now the latest tally shows apple fritter with the least votes. And so we say goodbye and distribute apple fritter's votes based on those voters' next highest ranked choice. This makes old-fashioned a winner. And because of that, we do that fancy math again and only distribute the surplus votes as a percentage of the total old-fashioned votes. Finally, we see chocolate surpass that winning threshold. I know this might seem complicated, but a driving force behind the switch to multi-winner ranked choice voting is that it guarantees that the preferences of at least 75% of the district's voters influence the outcome of the election. And in my case, I now know which donuts to bring to the newsroom on election night.